We can't have you being quite so stressed, so we're just going to regulate for a moment. Take a few minutes to calm down as we do this purple zenangle, starting with a big curly wave across the page. Now as we go, the paint and water run out, so we're going to go back in and just clean it up. Very easy to do, keeping the same consistency throughout, well, as best we can. And bring some pigment into every little section of the line that we've just made until we have our base for the painting. So this will dictate how the rest of it's gonna go. And I'm gonna re-up. This is shade Ultramarine Violet, and I'm using a number 5 brush, around number 5. And we're gonna start below our line, following as closely as possible to the curves that we have, and paying attention to keeping the white space as consistent as we can. That's Parmesan. I now am running out, so I'm gonna re-up and continue the curve around the bottom of the page, below this swoop and up. While the paint's still wet, I'm just going to crisp up that little transition that wasn't as smooth as I'd like, and also this line right here. I'm gonna re-up on the water and the paint. I'm gonna move the water, it's actually in the way. And I'm gonna connect as best I can to where we were, moving my brush around and completing this shape. We're now already divided into 3 sections, here, the top, and the bottom. So I'm gonna re-up my paint again. This time let's go from the top. Putting the paintbrush down very firmly and carrying it around this loop as confidently as possible. Watercolor and paint is like eyeliner. It can sense your nerves, so you wanna be in control. We're now going to go back down from the center of this curve because this actually gives me the best angle and control for this section. You can then just clean it up like this. I like to clean it up a little before the cleanup area, so by the time we get to the cleanup area, we're good to go. I'll show you if that comes up again, what I mean, if that didn't make sense. We're gonna move around this shape. And again, I'd like to add a little more pigment, just a touch. I'm gonna go to where it started to run out. Because the water pathway is already made, the paint will naturally spread out, so we don't have to worry about that too much. I'm gonna clean up this bend, and I'm happy with that. Re-upping again and starting up here. Slowly and confidently taking our brush around this top curve as far as I can before I feel like my hand is not really feeling so good, which is there. I'm going to thicken this line up here by dragging the paint that we have while it's already wet down into where I'd like it. We're then going to re-up and go down from this corner because this gives us the best control until we meet. Now this side transition was good, but the other one, not so much. So we're going to start from the bottom so we have a nice momentum, and there it connects. Going to re-up my paint and go from the bottom. So I'm going to start here at a bit of an angle so I can follow the curve that we already have down, keeping my brush the same pressure on the page to keep the same consistency, and spreading out the bristles so it's pretty thick. This could use some cleanup, and so I'm just gonna dip into my pool here. It's all gonna blend back out because it's still wet. And use the tip of my brush to shape. There we go. Now let's tackle this corner up here. Pretty simple, just a little bit of a curve as we move around and go off the page. And I even have it, even have enough on my paper to not have to re-up for those next ones. Now we're gonna go from the corner and up because that's gonna give us the best control an angle. Look at that splatter it's making. How Jackson Pollock are we? Then we're going to put our point in the exact same place and move it around the right side. You can tell where the paint has been re-upped because the pigment is darker. Then I'm going to dip into that again and try and bring this shape as far as I can into the corner using the very tip of my brush. This is a round brush, which means it has the flexibility to do that kind of point as well as the flatter bristles like we've been doing. So same thing, but a little bit of a different shape because it's grown. I'm gonna go out as far as we can to the right. I'm gonna re-up, and then similar to the left. And then I'm gonna take my tip because I think this could be cleaner and go like so and like so. Then I have enough paint on my brush to go into this top corner, and I'm actually going to steal from this and go into the side. Re-upping again, we have these two swoops on the bottom. So we're going to start in this one and slowly drag it. The important thing to remember is we're not in a rush here. This is just a couple minutes long, and we're giving ourselves that time, and we're going to be way better after for having taken this moment than if we just tried to power through what we were trying to do with anxiety. At least that's how I roll. Look at this beautiful change in light and dark. So now we have another point. So I'm going to put my brush in the center and drag it to the right, bringing my pigment and my water with me. And then I'm moving my body and my hand to have a better angle, and we go down on the left. This is also a good opportunity to do some cleanup. I'm trying to decide the best angle, which I've decided is right here. Lovely. Now this doesn't look so clean to me, so I'm going to start above it and pull the paint down till it naturally meets with itself again and just kind of smooth that out a bit. We're then going to do the exact same thing just to clean up this little section. And then I want to go like this and like this for consistency, and then we're going to focus, do a little bit of a point to keep that look going throughout our piece. Then we just have a little small one to do here that's probably going to close out this side and this little bit here. Boop, boop. Now we are on to our last little bit. So I'm going to get comfortable right below this horseshoe curve. Follow the shape that it made, gently but confidently around the corner and off to the side. I don't think that one needs any cleanup. I'm happy with that. I'm going to do the same this time. I think it's going to make a corner because as we go, the area between the two sides has shrunk, which is fun. We like having diversity in this kind of piece. There's no expectation placed beforehand, so we're just letting go for these few minutes and seeing where and how this turns out and not getting too attached. I think I'll be happy with it however it turns out. I just need this moment to myself. Okay. Last two here. That was a funny angle. We're gonna correct it like this, using the tip of our brush and using the tip of our brush again, just boop, balancing out these lines. And then we have one last one to go. I'm going to go from the bottom, and I'm going to point my brush and use the side of it to swoosh all the way across. Hopefully this was a little breathing moment for you and we can go back to what we were doing with a little more calm and confidence. See you later.